Yo, what's up, YouTubers? Finally got going. Man, it's been a very inspiring day. Shout out to the kid folk. Had a little baby. So, good job. That's really obeying God, being fruitful and multiplying. You know what I mean? It's a lot of fun. It really is. And, man, hot dog. Good job. So, I was talking about the 12-step program. I mentioned the 13th step where you talk to God about it. Okay, that's biblical. It says cast your cares. There's a preacher lady, Joyce Meyer, and she had some hardship, and her husband Dave was a really good dude. And Dave would tell her on a regular basis, cast your cares. She would be saying, well, this, that, and the other, yada, yada, yada. He said, cast your cares. Cast your cares. I believe it's real close to cast your cares upon God because He loves you. Like, the reason why you're telling God about it is because God loves you. Okay, so let's be clear about that. That's the reason why you're telling God. Okay, now, what's going to happen with that? God gives freely to anyone. If you ask God for wisdom, He will give you wisdom. Wisdom comes with walking it out. You'll know in the going. Okay, so step 14 is going to be action. You're going to have to take action on whatever solution you come up with. Are you suffering? Yes. Pause right there. How can you fix it? Do that. Step 14. Let's try this again. Are you suffering through some situation, circumstance, whatever? Yes. Pause right there. I don't need to hear all the particulars. You don't need to hear yourself say how bad it is, because you're torturing yourself with that shit. Are you suffering? Yes. Pause right there. Tell God about it. Say, God, how can I fix problem? Clearly identify the problem that is creating the suffering. Do not describe the suffering. That's a trick from the devil. That's a trick from the devil. And a lot of people are raised by women because dad's at work or just run off. They did women take care of kids in daycare and stuff like that or whatever like that. They get around all the other kids. The people are afraid of getting in trouble. The kids ain't afraid of nothing. It just goes plumb sideways. Emotional instability. Emotional damage. That dude was pointing it out the whole time, but he was just making fun of him. He wasn't trying to actually bring about a solution to stop the suffering. Okay, so are you suffering? Yes. Pause right there. What are some possible solutions? Talk to that one. Go, well, God, I'm struggling to make ends meet here and everything. I'm watching this stuff and I'm learning about money and investing and all this other kind of stuff. It seems like it's not that I can't manage my money. It's I don't have any money to manage. It costs so much money to live that after I work this job and this job over here together, I can barely eat and pay my rent. I think you start thinking about possible solutions. Well, what would life be like if you did not pay rent? What would, you know what I mean? Like you can get a construction job on the road, and they'll get you a hotel, and then they'll give you per diem, and that's enough to eat, and then at the end of the week you get a check on top of that. You know what I mean? So really, what you need is marketable skills, so you got the skills to pay the bills. So one of the solutions is to earn more money, but it don't make no sense to work that hard to give it away for nothing. Now, once you get that woman and she's got that baby in her hands, now, I mean, you thought, buying dog food was expensive and paying rent. Now you're raising a baby. So, your first year raising a baby, you're looking at an extra $12,000 to $20,000. Or a lot of work. I mean, I don't know if you're washing out your diapers and reusing them, but I would be getting some Huggies. I'm just saying. I don't want to do dishes. I ain't doing no cloth diapers, bro. Like, no. We're going to figure something out. I'm not going through that. I'm not putting my wife through that. You know what I mean? Unless we're like, Amish or whatever. So, I want to spend my energy and effort on the solution. So that's why I want to, am I suffering? Yes. Pause right there. Give it no energy whatsoever. I don't want to describe it. I don't want to say all the reasons why it shouldn't be that way. Bullshit. That absolutely takes you the wrong direction. I mean, you're just spinning your wheels. You're stuck in the mud, and you need a tow truck. And the tow truck would be the solution to being stuck in the mud. So you're going to have to call the tow truck. You're going to have somebody to pay this guy, or he's going to take your truck when he gets it out of the mud. So we get right back to marketable skills, so I can afford to pay the bills. And maybe I'm a bachelor or whatever else like that, or maybe I've already raised my family. And it makes sense to just live in the truck, earn the money, pay off the house where the wife wants to live, make sure there's some, side jobs in order, and just like hire somebody to fix the sink or whatever breaks. So, I want to set this thing up where I got, a mechanic, HVAC guy, a handyman, and all this other kind of stuff. And then I want to buy like a really super reliable vehicle and then never drive it. Never drive it. Just park it there. So I have it. It's there. It's paid off. I turn the switch and it starts. Not I push a button and it starts. Very critical information right there. Okay, so yeah, okay, everybody else has a fancy whatever. Okay, I have a 95 Toyota Camry. Alright, I took my Toyota Highlander, it was parked at my job, so I had something to drive around. And I took it and loaded it, that way the elder didn't have to try to buy a car. And when I got there today, I said, hey, do y'all have a car I could use to go get some tacos and some vitamins and stuff? And they're like, yeah, here's the keys. So I get in the company vehicle and just drive in. I didn't put no gas in it. I didn't make no payment. You know what I'm saying? So like you can put yourself in a position to get a job that comes with a vehicle. You see what I'm saying? Like I ain't got no 401k. I guess they offer health insurance, but I refuse to go to the doctor, so it doesn't matter. I'm a W-2 employee. A lot of my pay is actually per diem because I'm living in the truck. But I'm cooking a $20 roast, and it's lasted me a couple days eating on it. I spend more money on drinks than I do on food. And I got a gallon of water right there. I paid $1.30 for that gallon of water. But I paid $3.20 for a cup of coffee. So, you know what I mean? There's some $20 here and there getting spent at the truck stop. And I want to spend money at the truck stop where I'm not buying fuel. Because if I'm going to go in there and have a place to use the facilities and all that, and they're paying somebody to pick up all the stuff in the parking lot, and they're not charging me to be there, then I'm going to spend some money in that store. You know what I mean? When I take a shower, I want to leave a couple dollars on the sink and tip the guy that's cleaning the shower. I want the dude that's cleaning my shower to really feel like, hey, if I do a good job, I'm going to find a $5 bill. Because then he's going to do a good job. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know if you've seen the truck driver before, but we all shower at the truck stop. So if I could inspire that dude to be real good at his job cleaning the shower, my life will improve. And that's worth $5 to me. It's worth more than $5. Anyway, in the age of COVID, and freaking MRSA staff, we want this dude cleaning the shower on point. And a lot of people, side note, a lot of people have made fun of me about not taking a shower every day and stuff like that. I'm telling you right now, you can go in there and look at some of that stuff. I have pushed the buttons, paid the money, walked in, looked at the thing, walked right back out, got my money back, whatever. Hey, you guys need to tighten it up in there. You know what I'm saying? I just, no. And there's certain places like Louisiana and South Florida. I'm good. Like Marietta, Florida. I'll go over there and take a shower all day long. The worst truck stop in the world. The Flying J in Dallas, Texas. Dude. Anyways. What's the solution? You know what I mean? I got some freaking dude wipes, bro. Like, I'm just going to keep, like tomorrow, when I do my 30-minute break, I will park, run in there, get a shower at 10 o'clock in the morning when nobody else is getting a shower. And I know the place is clean. You know what I'm saying? So, solutions, man. I want to put my effort into the solution. I don't want to complain about it. I'm glad that I got a place to take a shower. Honestly, I'm glad that when I get fuel, they give me points. So I know that any pilot Flying J across the country, I can stop and get a shower. Cool. You know what I mean? I'm not paying for that. And then when I'm getting the fuel, I get points in my little card or whatever like that. I use that to purchase my drinks. And for some reason, the last couple of weeks, I've been drinking the sugar-free Gatorade, which I want to get away from. But like I was kind of feeling down a little bit. And, I just wanted to kind of level out from what I've been doing and then switch some things up. And, I'm kicking a bunch of supplements that I've tried this, tried that, tried this, tried that. I'm just like, you know what? I'm just going to go back to that multivitamin that was doing me real good a couple years ago. So I just went and did that. And then like my Skipper blend, it's getting down to where I need to add to it. But some of the stuff I get, it's organic and everything, but the Baja Gold's kind of moist. So when I put these different ingredients in there, they kind of take the moisture out of it so I can shake it out. You know what I mean? And then I was watching the thing and they're talking about anti-caking agents and how they don't put that on the label. So now my freaking Skipper blend, to me, seems suspect. I can complain about that, or I could just put that on the shelf because it ain't going to go bad, and then just get components and make a new one. And maybe I'm better off actually doing spice by spice and opening 13 jar lids versus putting it all together into one. You know what I mean? Like for the apocalypse, like you just got like a quart-sized Ziploc bag of salt full of nutrients. Excellent. Throw it in the backpack. Let's go. You know what I'm saying? Like, I got enough salt nutrition that if I could, find some fat, and some calories, which shouldn't be a problem, I can make it taste good and have nutrients, keep my brain working in a fully functional manner. That sounds good to me. I'm willing to do what it takes for that reason. You know what I'm saying? But right now, well, I can just swipe a card and buy whatever I want. So, I just buy whatever I want. I mean, we're talking about salt. I don't know if you've priced it lately, which is enough to make a preacher cuss. Inflation. But that's probably going to be even higher later. So the best time to get it is now, and then get a little extra for later. And then if it's got the grindy thingy, well, that's fresh cracked peppercorns. That's freshly ground, salt. So I can adjust what I'm doing right there like that. So that's a solution for me. Anyway, this is going way too long. If you watch the first 5 minutes, I'm on, this is step 14. I think if you watch 2 minutes of this video, you get the point. The rest of this is just like rambling and saying the same thing over and over. Because that's what I do. That's what I do. I want to entertain. I want to detain you long enough for some thoughts to enter into your head. And those thoughts are thoughts that are in my head from reading the Bible, seeing the world the way it is, and thinking, man, we can do better. You know what I'm saying? Like, bro, we can do better, bro. Like, we can tighten up, man. Look around. Look around. If you look around and you're a little bit, or you're WTF, or whatever, you know what I mean? If you're that guy that's been just instigating Karen to like melt down, man, use your powers for the goodness. Use your creativity to put Karen back together. You know what I mean? And Karen, if you're out there, we do what you can to like balance your hormones. You know what I'm saying? And like, apply logic. Pause your emotion and say, hey, what is this logically? What? I'm really trying to help you, Karen. I understand. You dramatically need me to be right there with you in your moment of suffering. I get it. I understand that. I hear you. I know that's what you want me to do. I realize you don't think that I can have empathy for that. And I know that you do not want me to fix it. But that is insanity. If you're hurting so bad that you insist on telling me every nuance and detail of social justice, I don't need to hear why. I need to hear how. You need to hear how. You can just pause the complaining and put the energy on the solution. And everybody's an individual. Assuming that there's this group of people and painting with a wide brush, and just like, oh well, everybody this, or oh well, everybody that, is highly inaccurate. It is highly inaccurate, Karen, for me to assume that every person named Karen is mad about the same thing. I don't even think you're mad about the same thing. I think half of y'all's bored, to be honest with you, in finding problems and making a mountain out of a molehill. And in the meantime, these giant things are happening all around you that are literally dangerous. And that's the enemy manipulating you. So that's my empathy for you. Karens. I have no idea why people will, pay, tens of thousands of dollars to send their children to a place that's, just glorifies, alcoholic, drunken, sexual encounters. I don't get it. I don't get it. I really don't. I mean, the higher learning thing and the professors that, they're gatekeeping this knowledge like they're somebody, and then everybody I talk to that's got a degree is doing something different. I don't know anybody that went to school. I literally did not know a single person that when they were 18 years old decided, this is what I'm going to do, went to a university and is now doing that thing. I do not know a single one. I know a guy that decided he wanted to be a trucker. He's got his own truck trailer. A few of them. He's doing great. I know a guy that decided to be a plumber. He's doing great. He never got married or nothing. And he's just happy as can be. Loves to eat. He calls himself a foodie. Oh yeah, I'm a foodie. This dude just, $200. This guy will just snack on everything on the plate. Yeah, he's fat. I think he's got diabetes too. So I ain't saying it's right. But I know he decided he was going to be a plumber when he was about 12, and he's a plumber. He lived down there in Dallas. He's a free man. Which is funny because his name is Free. But anyways, he's a great dude. I love that dude. Anyway, it's okay to solve your problem. There'll be another one. Trust me. Don't act like because you solved all of your problems that there ain't more. You know what I mean? As you live your life, you'll notice these things start to stack up. And if you think that you don't have these problems, you do, but you're in denial. Everybody struggles. We're supposed to. And if you're not struggling with these things, then you're surrounded by a bunch of yes men that are just using you. They're parasites all around you that are tricking you into things so that they can take away from you. I've worked for a lot of filthy, not filthy, I was going to say filthy rich, but wealthy. I'm talking about the people that write rich people's checks. And I mean, like the guy that started 7-Eleven, like his kids was down there. We was working for an old boy, I think he was number 2 at Ford Motor Company at the time. And there's like a street, a house, a canal, and then another house, and then the other street. And all the canals come in one way, and then all the streets come in from the other way. And these are, $5-6 million estates. And, it's freaking Deerfield Beach, man. And I'm down there working. And so I'm inside these people's house. You know what I mean? And I'm like, okay, you want to do this, you want to do that. There's a GC and everything. And, dude, I was a freaking felon on the run at the time. You know what I mean? Like, they're not vetting anything. And like, they would they would find these people like sleeping under a bridge and then bring them down there, and then they would be like, okay, yeah, we're going to demo this, that, and the other. We got to use this wheelbarrow to get it to the dumpster. Here's 3 dudes. And like this one dude, man, his name was Henley. He was from Jamaica. And he was like 65 years old. You know what I mean? And like at lunchtime, like they were digging the plants up, eating roots and shit. And I was just like, bro, like we can't do that here like that. They just paid like $5,000 to plant that tree. Like you can't dig this tree up and eat the root, bro. And and then one day, like he's eating this fish. He had the fish. It was like a perch, man. And it looked like you just had some hot coals, and you just throw that thing in there and let it burn a little bit. And then just flip it over and let it burn a little bit. And I mean, like the scales were a little bit burnt, but this fish was no way cleaned or gutted. Its freaking eyeball was still in there, and he just puts a piece of bread around it, and he's biting this fish. He just like bites the fish's head off, and he's crunching it up. And he talked like this, man. You know what I mean? And then like, you see me go like that, and he would like pull some bones out of his teeth and shit. And then, so like the next day, I'm just like, hey man, y'all come with me. And we went to McDonald's, dude. And I was like, hey, what do you want or whatever? And I was like, don't worry about it, dude. I'll buy you food. And then he didn't know what he wanted. He'd never eaten at McDonald's before. Like that was, he'd been here since the 60s. And this is like 2008. This dude never eaten at McDonald's. Couldn't read. Neither one of them could read. And then that one dude, he was a real smart ass. He's a good guy. And they were real tall. Anyway, kind of put you in the mind of the California raisins to look them in the face. But other than that, they were like narrow and real freaking tall. Like you just stretched out a Stretch Armstrong or something. And anyways, Henley was real good at stucco. Like he did overhead stucco all freaking day. I mean, all day. I mean, this dude was ridiculously strong. And yeah, he went in and had like a colonoscopy, and he come back to work, and he said, man, I was laying there and everything. He said that they got done, and the doctor looked at me and said, "You're a strong man. Most people need an anesthetic for that." He was like, "You know, what the F do you mean? You're Bubba Clot, son of a blah blah." So he's all mad, but this dude just got the Roto-Rooter, and yeah, no anesthetic, no nothing. This dude was awake, and they just like, you know, got rid of the polyps or whatever they call it. Whatever, I don't know. I remember the look on his face when he said, "That Bubba Clot doctor looked at me, and he said, 'You're a strong man.'" I said, "The fuck do you mean I'm a strong man?" Well, most people need an anesthetic for that. This dude was hot around the collar. Like, if he could find that dude, like, he was going to kill him. Like, yeah. And I think he did. And he was homeless, dude. He'd be like, "Yeah, drop me off over here." Because I'd be like, "Man, you need a ride home," or whatever like that. Well, Henley had an apartment. He lived in his owner's place in some apartment complex. But Wesley'd have me drop him off at different places at different times. And then one day I freaking realized, oh, this guy's homeless. Because I'm stupid. Like, I don't think like that. You know what I mean? Like, I picked up a hooker one time, and I was like, you know, I just see this lady standing there, and I'm like, I'm going over there to pick up the guys, and this dude lived in a trailer park over there off A1A, and I pull up there, and this lady standing there, I don't know, she's about 25 years old, and I'm just like, I'm like, "Hey, do you need a ride?" And she's like, "Yeah." So she gets in the car, and I'm like, "Well, I'm just going right up here to this trailer park." And she's like, "Yeah, that's fine." And I'm like, "Okay," you know. So I go up there and everything, and I pull her. I was like, "Well, you know, a guy should be here anytime." You know what I mean? And she's like, "Well, you know, it's $20. I was like, "Oh, you need $20? I was like, "Well, shit, I guess," you know. And I give this lady $20. And then she's looking at me, and I'm looking at her, and I'm like, "What?" Because I think she's just going to get out. And then she's like, "You've never done this before, have you?" And I was like, no, really, I was just going to give you a ride. Like, yeah, I'm married, bro. Like, well, I didn't call her bro. I don't know if she's bro or not. She looked like, she was definitely a she, for sure. Well, I didn't check. Ew, see, I didn't even think of that until just now. Anyway, that was the first time I picked up a hooker. I didn't know she was a hooker. I didn't know. It was just like 5 o'clock. You go out real early because you got to pick everybody up, and they drive to the job site, and then you want to do the work before it gets hot. You know, roofing, right? So, anyway, she gets out and goes on about her business. Then here come Dave. Hey, Dave was a real good carpenter. I learned a lot from Dave. He was really good about that. He was a roofer, but he was also a carpenter. He was the guy that we were doing a 3-tab roof. This dude would pop a line every 4 foot, and then he would pop 2 lines and just go right up the roof, and then just do half of the sucker right-handed, half of it left-handed, and then every so often pop a line vertical and then a diagonal line so you can get the point straight. So you're standing there looking at the roof, and you'd see the tabs. You make a straight line this way, and then a straight diagonal, and then a diagonal this way. You know, and if you don't do that, it'll be off just a little bit. It'll look, they call it sawtooth. So it'll be off just a little bit. You know what I mean? And it has nothing to do with turning water. It does take 3 days to roof a house instead of 1. So, you know, there's learning from those guys to get the quality. Then there's learning from the fly-by-nights and just bang it together. And then there's like understanding aesthetic quality versus watertight. You know what I mean? Like, aesthetic quality, you cut out the shingle to match the pipe boot perfectly, but then you got a plastic cement each layer. You know what I mean? And then, like, you know, you want to use a nail with a when I was going around the pipe booths, I would put a piece of inner tube from like a bicycle tire, which it was leftover EPDM is what it is, but it's rubber, very similar to a bicycle inner tube. So I'd cut out a little square of that, poke it on the nail, push it through the pipe flashing, and put another one on the back side. And then once I got up there, all my nails were in place, and then I could cut the shingles in a circle and put that thing on there, and then plastic cement, everything like that. And then those were leads, so I'd cut the PVC pipe off, I'd preset it, and then cut it. That way I could bend the lead down over the top. Do the same thing. It's like, until the rain wears the lead out, it will not leak. It's about a 400-year pipe flashing, literally. And then where all the nails at, it's got to leak twice. And then where the shingles are at, it's got to leak 3 times per layer of shingle. Plus you just plastic cemented this whole area to the roof. So if the underlayment's installed properly, now, bro, like, this is hurricane proofing a roof. And, a lot of people don't know that kind of stuff. And getting those skills are marketable, and then putting it into action. I can know all that stuff, but I'm driving a truck, it don't matter. You know what I mean? I'm driving a truck right now. It doesn't matter if I know how to install a pipe flashing on a roof. You know what I mean? But if I was on a roof right now, like if I walked into a union roofing outfit and started talking like this, they would be like, train our guys how to do that. I would be like, no, it's hot up there. I like the air conditioning. Even though it's not on right now, and it's, 87 degrees, and I'm beginning to sweat. You know what I'm saying? But I need to lose weight because I'm fatter than hell. So, you know what I mean? Like, I can't lose. Because my perspective is right, and it's on the solution. And I can't outgive God. So as I'm trying to solve the problem for the country, for the world, and point them to the Bible. You think I know all that about aesthetics and quality and a 400-year freaking pipe flashing? If I wasn't doing that to honor God, do all your work as if you're doing it for the Lord Himself. Okay, well, here's the crazy part. I was doing that because that's how He made me before I read that in the Bible. All these things I've learned, all these things that I've conveyed onto this device to try to share with you guys is Hardway DeGraff figured it out, which should be incredibly inspiring because you can do it too. And I'm just saying, this is how I figured it out, through butting my head against a wall like a retard, instead of just like read the book, do what the book says. So I encourage you to just read the book and do what the book says. So let's go over this one more time. Step 14. Do you have a problem? Yes. Pause right there. How can you fix it? Have that conversation with God. Put your energy there. Once you got a few potentials, act on it. Do. Go and do. Going into doing it and doing it and going into and doing it and growing into doing. And then once you're grown in your groanings, you can count it all joy. You can be extremely happy that you were allowed to endure the test. And when the roll is called up yonder, you will be there. Thanks to the blood of Jesus. You're never going to earn that. You're never going to earn that. You're going to do these things and solve these problems and be a winner out of respect for the fact that Jesus died for you. Out of respect for the fact that your forefathers provided you a road to drive on. You know what a big deal it is to have a car driving down a road? Do you have any idea how many people it took to dig that oil well in the ocean? I mean, What's this underwater welding pipeline guy doing? What about this dude that's, abducting Maduro? What's this dude going through? He's risking his life. All that ain't shit compared to what Jesus did. He was crucified to cover your sins. So I just want you to realize that, because problems, they're real. Suffering is real. I'm not discounting that at all. I'm specifically telling you to pause that and talk to Jesus about it. And realize that he was tempted in every way as a man and remained sinless. So there's finding out what sin is. And as you take this on and you learn these things, and then you decide, hey, this is for me. I have decided to follow Jesus. Go get baptized and expect to fight. Welcome to the war for your soul. At least now you're aware of it. Now you're aware of it. So, no turning back. No turning back. I have decided to follow Jesus. No turning back. No turning back. Like, why would you? Why would you? Like, I don't think anybody that turns away from God ever knew him. I think people that turn away from God, they got a form of religion with no power. And then somebody took advantage of them. They got mad at the church, blamed God for it, and walked away. That's what I think. That's what I think. I think it's this whole system where they compromise you with, oh, well, it's just a little bit of coffee drinking. It's just a little bit of, whatever, stimulants. If somebody ever looks at you and say, well, it's just a little, I'd suspect as hell. The devil's subtle. The devil's in the details. And if you'll shut the fuck up when you want to complain and look at it, you'll find the solution. The devil's in the details, and he is subtle. And if you resist the devil, you want to be anti-satanic. Anti-satanic. Like, every question, hey man, you want to go to the bar? Like, no, will Satan be there? Is there a chance of Satan at the bar? No, man, it's just a few drinks. That sounds like something Satan would say. Like, no, I think I'm going to stay home and read the Bible. Like, I can't quote the entire Bible yet, so I'm not done reading it. I personally, okay, that's another thing. Bonus. You've held on for 38 minutes. Here's your bonus. If you cannot quote the book the way that movie, the Book of Eli, this blind dude walks from somewhere to freaking Alcatraz and then quotes the Bible after the apocalypse. So, have I read the Bible enough? No. I know quite a bit about it. There's hours of me talking about it. I mean, like, seriously, I can't call myself a novice. I'm experienced. I need to know a lot more. But I'm going to tell you this, I'm going to tell you straight. I cannot quote the entire book from cover to cover. That means I'm not done reading it. I'm not done reading it. Until I know the mind of Christ every moment of my life to the point that I can quote it on command. Even then, I would be stupid to stop reading it. Even in that moment, I'm full of the Holy Ghost, walking and talking and going and doing, because I've grown into His likeness, and I'm nearly complete. If I had all that, and I've just got it going on, some person that's way better than me, they should still read the Word, because the Word is alive. If you can't quote the entire book, you haven't read it enough. And if you can, You should be smart enough to continue reading it. For real. For real. Like, I mean, really. And I don't need to go off on some tangent. I don't need to, like, dig into all these extras and stuff like that. I don't have to do that. Me personally, I don't have to do that. Like, I know God. And then when I'm reading these other things, I'm like, well, yeah, that sounds about right. Okay? But even the people that are recommending the book are like, well, it's a little suspect. You know what I mean? It's like, well, Jude quotes the book of Enoch. You know what I mean? But Enoch 2 and 3, there's a lot of skepticism about that. Was it really the guy or whatever like that? So in my head, that's just in the maybe section. That's the maybe. Well, maybe so, maybe not. And like, do I need to know the difference between Gabriel and Azazel or whatever? Well, probably. I think Azazel ain't worth the shit. Fallen angel. And then like Gabriel is like the guy that kicked his ass because he's a good angel. So should I know the difference? And realize who's on my side or whatever? No, doesn't fucking matter. It doesn't fucking matter at all. Let me tell you something. It doesn't make a squirt of piss. I'm gonna tell you why. The only name I need to know is Jesus. That's it. He's the name above all names. It's like, okay, yeah, it's pretty impressive. Like, okay, you're over here on this team, and you're on this team. Like, I know you guys are like the Raiders, and I know you guys over here are like the, Sooners or whatever. I don't know, whatever team. But I don't have to know every player. Like, I can tell who won the game, but I look at the scoreboard. You know what I'm saying? And even that is entertainment. That's just like, okay, all right, that's a thing, I guess. But what does that mean for me? It's stuff, I guess. Like I don't even know what that means. Honestly, because I'll look at it. But I don't know how much rice costs in China. Honestly, don't know what a tree is. And that's true. Honestly, don't know what gravity is. Like, there's like a force holding us down, but it seems to be like density makes things fall down or whatever. Ain't it like a tree? Like, how does this tree grow out of the ground, does the thing it does, and then like falls over and creates topsoil that the food and everything comes from, and then also like there'll be a freaking 6-story crane sitting on a 2x4 and it's like it doesn't compress like a rock. So like how do these fibers have such power? Like trees don't get enough credit. Trees do not get enough credit. And whatever is creating those trees is freaking fantastic. The forest is fantastic. I mean, bro, it's a big deal. But if somebody asked me, hey, what is a tree? I could be like, there's one right there. I can see it. Everybody's asking, like, what is a woman? You're like, duh. And then it's like, what is a tree? And it's like, that's a good fucking question. That's a real good question. You know what I mean? It talks about the tree of life and its produce, what it's producing, and all these other things. So I've walked down that path a little bit, looked at it for what it's worth, and I looked into gravity, and time and space. What is time and space? What is snot? Throw it out the window. Hopefully not on your windshield. Anyway, I'm gonna get over here. I don't know what to tell you. I don't know what to tell you other than look at what matters. You know what I mean? But step 14 is definitely pause the complaining, cast your cares, and then actually do the action. The action. Suffering, I'm not going to complain about it. Here's a solution. I'm going to do that. See how it goes. Make adjustments. And one by one, you will begin to improve your life. And you'll begin to be able to help other people. And, bro, I'm telling you right now, you get somebody in the truck, this dude's sitting there, you're driving for like an hour. I picked up a homeless guy. And he was actually an Amish dude that was carrying the mail from Pennsylvania to South Texas. And I was in Oklahoma, and he's telling me all these stories about how he got robbed and beat up and all sort of kind of stuff like that. And I was like, you can just like get a bus ticket, right? And then like you can you can put a stamp on there and just send it in the mail. And he's like, yeah, well, we don't do that. I gotta walk to Texas from Pennsylvania. And I'm like, bro, you're full of shit. And he looked at me like, what? Because I wouldn't feel sorry for him. I said, dude, you are full of shit. You can go down there and buy a fucking bus ticket and ride the bus, bro. You're riding in a fucking car right now. Don't give me that bullshit. I said, you're one of the worst hypocrites I ever seen in my life. I started chewing his ass, man. He about jumped out. He's like, pull over and let me out. I said, jump, I guess. So I ain't fucking stopping. And I proceeded to give him a righteous ass chewing. Right or wrong, I do not know, but it happened. And so basically I chewed this dude's ass for about 20 minutes. And got right in the middle in between two towns, and then let him out to walk. That way he'd have a long walk to think about it. And yeah, that really happened. And and I was like, dude, like you can't come out here and put your life on the line over sending somebody a letter when you can put a freaking, go down there and give them $1 and say this is the address, and they'll send it. Don't give me that bullshit. Then act like you can't. Freaking ride a bus down there. But you can. But if I pick you up off the side of the road, you'll get in the car and ride. What's the difference? You're just being stupid, putting your life at risk and everything else. Out here getting beat up and robbed and everything else like that. You deserve to have your ass chewed. You're being stupid, and you're a hypocrite. You need to talk to God about it. Anyway, I don't know that was the most pleasant instructions I've ever delivered. But I'm telling you right now, I'm required to tell you the straight of it, whether you like it or not. And like that's the deal I made with God. And man, I am an instigator. I am, dude. I really am. He made me this way. I've seen people that's getting picked on by the bullies since I was a kid and just like roast them, dude. Just like verbal assassination. You know what I mean? To pick out all their flaws, rub their nose in it, and wind up in a fight. Or a lot of times not. And anyways. Solutions. All the time. Every day, all the time. No matter what. And keep going no matter what. Like, if Jesus can endure what he went through, and what's that one part he said, could you not wait up with me for 1 hour? Bro. He's in the garden, he's sweating blood. I don't think the disciples knew, and they were tired, they fell asleep, it's like, I ain't mad at them or nothing like that. Everybody's ragging on the disciples and doubting Thomas and all that. I believe doubting Thomas, he's like, dude, I don't believe you. I don't think he came. I don't think he came back from the dead. You know what I mean? And I'm like, Thomas makes a good point. And then Jesus just walks through the wall. He's like, yo, Tom, stick your finger in my side where they stab me if you'd like. And he's like, enough said. So, I mean, yeah. And then having those, having been privy to such things, in real world, stuff. I was witnessing with a lady, last night. And, she had some very significant reasons to be mad. And I totally agree with her, and she's kinfolk. So, there's a deeper responsibility and going through it, and struggling with forgiveness. And has every right in the world to be beyond bad about it. And it's righteous indignation. But trapped in unforgiveness. They just carried it for, going on 30 years. And then just an exasperation of, 30 years battle. And how, well, because of this happened, and this and that, and all this kind of stuff. And it just, the ability to just detail all the suffering. And, my heart's just breaking. Like, it already got ripped in two, and rent, and travail, and all of that. Over and over and over and over for this situation and everyone involved. And to just be there with them, sit with them, and then give the best I can and be like, you're just going to have to get over it. And it's one of the hardest things I ever said. It was one of the hardest things I ever said. And I know that God wanted me to say that and to say it that way. And before I said it, I was like, look, this is going to be hard to hear. And it's the truth. You're just going to have to get over it. And you can't. And Jesus is right there for you to walk through it. And following Jesus is, Jesus died to save everybody. And from our perspective, some of these people ain't worth, they're worthless. But that's his decision or whatever else like that. So, did they repent or whatever else like that? Doesn't matter to me. That's between them and God. And that's how I can forgive people in my life. Because I say, I am not God. It's between them and God. And if they repent, wherever, when he separates his sheep and his goats, that's his decision. Not my circus, not my monkeys. And then I forgive the situation through the recognition, the recognizing of the fact that people are human, the devil is real, and he's tricked everybody into doing dumb shit. But that's hard. It's real hard on people. We're coming up to the Banksy check. I pulled up here one day. They said, "Are you a CSN?" I was like, "Yeah, are you?" He started laughing. He's like, "Yeah, for about 6 months." It was funny, boy. It was so funny. Hang on a second. What's up, buddy?
Anybody else with you?
No, you want to hear a good joke?
What is it?
You know what Jesus' blood type is?
No.
B positive.
Be positive.
Yeah.
Anyone else? Anybody else with you?
Yeah.
No. Do you mind if he opens this door real down here?
Well, it's locked, but I mean,
You have the key for it?
Yeah.
Do you mind if I borrow it?
Well, I mean, you want me to pull up here? I want to get out and open it myself.
Not letting it. Okay. Get that hoe pull over and open it for us.
Here.
No, you can't do it here. I'll just send it for K9 and I'll run it over there. Okay. Okay, over here on the green roof to your left.
Okay.
If you can park in there. As soon as you pass those yellow cones,
Okay.
just park in there.
All right. Look at this fun. Dang, all of you out here, huh?
Anybody else with you, sir? Perfect. No, they want me to open the door. No, not right now. Not right now, sir. Very good, sir.
Hey, off. Off. He showed you what key it was? Showed you what key it was?
safe, all right, brother?
What's your after report? Write all that down.
Yes, sir.
They call me DeGraff. That means the Earl. Well, I just raced here with all the cops until they all came out, and then I prayed for them, prayed a hedge of protection for them and everything. I mean, dude, I was just all riled up and everything like that, dude. I don't know how much you got on the video. I was like, y'all ain't gonna molest me in any way. They're like, put your hands up against the vehicle. I didn't put my fucking hands up against the vehicle. Then the guy bumps into me. The tall black dude, he bumps into me. Hey, don't bump into me. I'm like, motherfucker, you bumped into me. They're like, we can put you in handcuffs. I say, I'll tell you what. I'm going to need everybody's name and badge number for the lawsuit. You ain't going to violate my constitutional rights. I know you guys are down here with all these sheep that don't know nothing. Yeah, something else. So I prayed that God would give them the Holy Ghost so they could see all the contraband and traffickers. They thought they had somebody. They didn't know what they had a hold of. Form a religion with no power will get you nothing. Nothing. Nothing is over. Nothing. I refuse to bow down to the devil. And God just made that dog bark for no reason. God just made that dog bark for no reason. That way them boys would get prayed for. Woo! Count it all joy when you fall into these various trials, knowing it is for the greatness of the kingdom. Hot dog. I didn't see that one coming. I just chewed 15 dudes' ass. The supervisor came out and he's like, what's going on out here? And I'm just chewing his ass, chewing their ass. I said, take your hat off too. Started praying for all of them. Man, it was great. It was great. And I walked up and I said, fuck the devil. Oh, man. You never know what the day's going to bring. What? Maybe it's because I'm throwing these snot rags out. Maybe we'll just save that one for later. Calm down, Skip. Where'd my knife go? Dang it! No, we're not going to let you walk over here armed. Yeah, well, fucking... You didn't even get the arms. Oh, man. Bro. That's something else. You got to know when to hold them. Know when to pray for them because they're too stupid to do anything right. Challenge accepted. It's all part of it. Living like we live as saints. Everybody messing with us. So can't you see I am a man? Got a couple Bibles in my hand. I try to explain the game. Hope that you're listening. Well, you know, I mean, it is what it is. I've been wanting to kind of, you know, I told him, I said, you know what, I've been through here 100 times. And I go, most of these places, they just wave everybody through and they don't do their job at all. I said, I'm actually glad you, like, pulled me over here or whatever like that. You know, that's fine. I said, you're going to molest me. I will go unmolested, sir. They're like, we can cuff you or whatever like that. I'm like, bro, I don't think you realize how tough the cops are at Love's. Let me tell you about what happened at Love's over a piece of rubber. Oh, man. crazy, crazy. Very difficult, very difficult. Oh, man. So it's all about the solutions. You know, so they have a job to do or whatever else like that. You know what I mean? And I don't want to waste their time and everything. And I mean, bro, man, 14 dudes walk up on you like they're gonna do something. Hey, yeah, like it's makes my Agent Orange act up. I've never been taken into custody unless I gave up. Not one time. Not one time. I wonder why they didn't bring the dog over there to sniff me. Or to sniff the truck. When they wanted me to walk over to the thing. Very curious. Very curious. They're probably going to pull me over up here and run me through the mill with the DOT. Everybody's like, why are you so paranoid, Skip? Fuck, come out here and get you some. Oh, it's just driving a truck. You're just a truck driver. What would you know? A lot of people I've noticed will act one way and then act another way. And once you're a genuine person and you talk to the creator of the universe every day of your life, it is so altering. When you lay your life on the altar, when you are, bro, I'm all riled up and I just know it's time to pray. You know what I'm saying? Oh, man. Anyway, you know, that's about it. You know. There's a reason why some of us prefer to be bored. There we go, red light. Red light for the weigh station. Let's see what it says up here. I hope I ain't overweight. I didn't weigh this son of a bitch or nothing. There's a sign there that says bypass. Is it going to change? No, it still says bypass. We'll see. Is it a trap? Is it a trap that they give you the red light and then turn on the bypass? Let's roll through it anyway. Because they give me the red light. Some people run too fast. They might have just left that thing on for the red. I don't know. We're going to find out. I don't see anybody here. This is the weigh station after the Mexi check. I'm down here on 281. Coming out of far. Yeah, they just left it on. I don't trust these motherfuckers. Trust no one. See, was that take me 3 minutes to roll across that son bitch? That light on that pre-pass blinking red. So if I blowed this son of a bitch, went on, the sign says bypass, all they'd have to do is turn around and say, oh, well, we gave you the red light. So if it says, bypass, then you get the red light, just roll through there with the red light. I mean, ain't like we got nothing to hide. Ain't nobody hiding nothing. Stop down here trying to find my freaking knife. I threw it in here. They're like, we're gonna have to take that. No, you ain't taking shit. You don't have my permission to take a motherfucking thing. You can take your ass over there and fucking sit down somewhere. They'll just do anything. If you'll lay down, them sons of bitches will run you over. And if you give them the slightest bit of spine, they'll just break weak. They'll just break weak. Them boys, I tell you right now, we're cooked. We are cooked. When this thing jumps off up here, man, They will just go right through. There's no nothing slowing it down. I mean, not even slightly slowing it down. They'll probably have a piece of paper telling them to let it go through. I mean, you could roll up to that. You could roll through that son of a bitch with a freaking Chinese flag and pulling a tank with Chinese markings all over the tank. They'll be like, you got anybody with you? Fuck no. All right, go ahead. Sons of bitches, man. I did pray that they'd find all the traffickers, though. So, that's a thing. All right, we're gonna shut her down. It's time for a fucking cup of coffee after this shit. You're being detained. Fuck you, detain me. Nothing is over. Nothing is over. Nothing. Oh man, I gotta get a different job, dude. I need to get the fuck out of this truck. Holy shit. I'm gonna fucking catch a case. I'm gonna run across the wrong motherfucker at the wrong time. And fight this son of a bitch. That's the bad part. Like, I know I'm gonna fucking fight him. If those motherfuckers would grab me, dude, I would fucking. I gotta get out of this truck. I gotta quit coming down here. I can't come down here no more. I gotta tell the boss, look, sorry, bud, I can't do it. If you want to run me around in America, that's fine, but I ain't coming to fucking Texarkana anymore. No more Texas for me. Yeah. I'm going to wind up, I fought the law and died trying. Yeah. That's what's going to wind up. Oh, well. Till then, go get them.